What up, y'all? Coach Reese here. Welcome to episode 1 of Plug Talk. So excited that you decided to go on this very important journey with me. But before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit more about my story and where I'm coming from. Disclaimer, I'm not a guru and I am not a CPA. Reason being is I'm not out here to financially plan your life. My mission is to teach you the language of money and help you grow in your behavioral finance awareness and also help you develop economic self-efficacy. What that means is essentially I'm here to inspire you to that so that way you know that you're worthy of investing in yourself. And when you know that, you're going to then leverage your gifts and talents so that way you can create generational wealth. End of story. I grew up in a single parent home, watched my mom work multiple jobs just so that way she can give me the life that I wanted, paying for Jordans and AAU. The only money conversations I remember having revolved around two things: tithing and saving. My mom was an avid tither and I saw her do it faithfully, and my grandma was an avid saver and I saw her do that faithfully. Outside of that, there weren't many money conversations being had. Much like a lot of other people, I wondered, why did I not learn this stuff in school? As soon as I got a job, I began the habit of doing both, tithing and saving out of every single check, and I've been doing it for the last 15 years. So as I continued to grow older and saw my savings account build and also see my finances being blessed, I wanted to grow deeper in my understanding of finances and real estate and investing. So when I got to college, I began to deepen my understanding of how do I really win in this financial game and grow as an entrepreneur. And I also went through the same phase as a lot of other people. How the heck am I supposed to get credit if I don't even have credit, but y'all want me to have credit to get credit? Same thought process. So what I did is I started getting real strategic with the process and I made it work. So at 19, I got my first credit card. Then fast forward a few years, I became a young CEO and really elevated my game on how do I grow my business? How do I grow my finances? I opened up a Roth IRA. I started investing in stocks and really setting myself up to become bankable in order to become a successful real estate investor. I tell you all this to let you know I come from the similar stage as you. Generational wealth wasn't really talked about in the household. It wasn't talked about in school. So once I started seeing my habits start to affect my life in a positive way, I wanted to make sure I could teach other people how to do the exact same thing. So my mission is to teach you the game so that way you can create your own philosophy, because who knows you, your lifestyle, and your finances better than you? Nobody. So if I can teach you the game and you know how to apply it, you're going to be able to create your own philosophy that works for you and your lifestyle. So I'm here to use my lived experience as a researcher, a coach, a real estate investor in order to help you create your own stream of generational wealth. So the one thing I want to talk about today is the buzzword generational wealth. What does that mean? Because a lot of us, especially in the Black and brown community, there's not a lot of generational wealth to go on. We believe that generational wealth can be built within 1 to 2 generations. And essentially what that means is wealth started in one spot and it was able to trickle down to another spot. And so generational wealth means to me is essentially money that outlasts me. That's it. Or money thought processes that outlast me, or money habits that outlast me. That's what generational wealth means to me. So one thing that I want you to do is think about, what does generational wealth mean to you? Have you inherited any generational wealth? What does that look like? But then the next thing that I really want you to do, kind of how I just did, is I want you to think about, from a cognitive stance, what is your money story? Where did you get your money concepts from? Where do you get your money thoughts? Is it from your friends? Was it from your home, your environment, from the culture, from society? What influences the way that you think about money? So remember, you can't secure the bag if you're insecure, which is why you need to take the time to think about, why do I think about the money the way that I do? Why do I approach money in spending or gaining or saving the way that I do? What influenced that? The next thing that I want you to think about is, what area in your finances are you insecure in? Because if I can't secure the bag, if I'm insecure, I need to be able to get to know that area in my finances that I'm insecure about. Is it my immediate savings? Is it my emergency fund? Is it my retirement? Is it the money I have saved up to build a business? Is it my vacation fund? I don't know. Only you know that. So you need to take the time to look at your finances and say, what am I insecure about in my finances? What is it that doesn't make me feel good? What am I denying? What am I not trying to look at? What am I hiding? Right? Really tapping into that emotional and cognitive space when it comes to finance, because that's the behavioral finance piece that I want you to be able to tap into, because that's where I believe actual change in the way that you approach your finances comes from. And you might be thinking, I didn't come here for all that. Well, that's cool. Deuces. Because I'm not here to do no fluff guru. Here's how you do this, that, and the third. I'm here to really help you create lasting change that you don't necessarily need me or a coach to be there to hold your hand. But I will if you need some assistance to begin with. But if you eventually can't walk these steps out on your own, I didn't do my job as a coach. And I want to make sure that you have the ability to live this out and to teach your family in your neighborhood and be the change in your village, which also when you pass down this generational money, they're going to have the keys and knowledge at the same time of how to operate and handle this money. So this ain't just about no get rich quick. How do I build 7 streams? This is legitimately a head and heart transformation that's going to allow you to make wise decisions when it comes to your money, the way it comes in, the way it comes out, and the way you steward your funds. The last thing that I want you to think about is this. What's your number? Okay, as a hooper, I went from number 15 to 32 to 22, and then I just stayed there. So what's your number? And I say this because you need to figure out what your number is. The reason why this is important is because if you're trying to get to a specific space, you're trying to save up, you're trying to become financially free, which you also need to think about, what does that mean to you? You want to be able to retire. All these different missions and goals that you have to know what your number is. So you say, what's my number, Reese? I don't know. Here's how you figure out what your number is. You sit down and you look at all of your expenses, all your bills that come in. You can do this with adding food and gas, or you don't have to, but any bill that a collector is going to call you over, right? Nobody will call you over your food or call you over gas. You just going to be hungry and can't go nowhere. But whether it be your cell phone bill, your Wi-Fi, your medical bills, your mortgage, your rent, different things like that. Look at all of those numbers, tally those up, and then that number is your number. That's your do you number. How much does it cost to do you? You need to be able to figure this out, because if you have a mission to say, I want to be financially free by the time I turn whatever, I want to be able to retire by the time I turn whatever, if you don't know what your number is, you can retire and not have enough. Or you could retire right now and be like, oh, I do have enough. But if you don't know, you don't know. So again, you can't secure the bag if you're insecure. And it's important to remember, a lack of knowledge can lead to insecurity. So you need to start to know yourself. So what I'm going to leave you with is this. Know your story. Why do you think about money the way that you do? What influenced your money thought process? Number 2, what are some areas in your finances that you're insecure about? Get real with it. Sit by yourself, sit with your family, and really think about, how am I constructing my finances and why am I insecure about these specific areas? Number 3, what does generational wealth mean to me? Is it just about you passing down money? Is it you passing down assets, LLCs, keys in Megan Thee Stallion knees? Or is it about you being able to share knowledge up, below, and to the sides? Or is it about you just making sure that you die with more zeros in the bank than you came into this world with? I don't know. You're the one that has to define that for yourself. And number 4, know your number. Okay? What's your body count? No, well, not that number. Well, you should know that too. But figure out your number. What is your do you number? What's the number that you need in order to make sure that you're good? If there was an emergency that was to happen, do you have, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Do you have enough funds to be able to do you? If financially free is a mission for you, what does that number look like? You can't just go forever. If you want to retire, what number do you need? Because once you know this number, then it allows you to get strategic about the steps you're going to take after this. And so after this episode, we're going to get that much more strategic. We're breaking those things down, but there's no way in the world I can move forward without getting these key thoughts and key concepts to you at the start. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it to the end, shout out to you. Please leave me a comment below or hit me up in my DMs if you want more clarification around any of these concepts. I look forward to growing with you, and I look forward to helping you grow your generational wealth and your concepts and thoughts around this. Let's grow.